Hey everybody, my name is Rob Woodbridge from Untethered.tv. What you're about to see here is a short clip of a much longer episode. It can be found on Untethered.tv. So if you really are interested in this, go to Untethered.tv, do a search for this title, and you'll find it there. But enjoy this short clip. Hello everybody, and welcome to Untethered.tv. I'm your host and founder, Rob Woodbridge. This is that place you come to find out the ins and outs of the mobile business arena. Trying to figure out what your business should be doing, trying to figure out some lessons that other people have learned so that you don't have to go through those lessons yourself. Well, mostly. This is also the place where you get some ideas. This isn't the place where you steal the ideas and mimic them into your own business. This is where you acquire ideas to mold them into the way that you think would be appropriate for your business. Don't steal these ideas, learn from them. So we are in the middle of this transformation in a lot of industries as a result of mobile. But you know what? It's funny. I don't think that anybody, any industry, is going through such a transition, maybe the retail industry, but any other industry is going through an opportunity like we are seeing today, but the survey and data collection industry. Come on, everything that we do, everywhere we are, every time we open up the device, every time we ask a question, every time we take a survey, that data is going into a huge cloud spot. It is being assimilated. It is being diced, sliced, and we are finding patterns and trends. Data is the new gold rush, and the folks that are building the surveys, that are building the tools that go out and collect that data, whether passively or actively, are probably the new panhandlers, the new guys that are equipping these panhandlers with the tools to be able to do the things that they need to do. Data is king. And to that extent, got a great guest today to talk about a lot of this stuff around data collection, trends that are happening. Do we need surveys? We're going to cover all of this, and it's all around this great mobile space that we love so much. And with me today is Guy Rolfe, who is the mobile practice leader at Kantar Mobile. Now, Kantar is an internal provider of market research services to the Kantar Group, which in turn is the world's largest insight, information, and consultancy network. And he is we're talking across the pond. He's in Warwick in the UK. Guy, thank you for doing this. What an introduction. I've already spoken too much. Thank you for being here.
You're welcome. Hi. Thank you for inviting me.
So, before, I gave a brief overview of what we're going to be talking about, as you heard. But before we really dive into this, I think some context for what it is. What is Kantar Mobile? What is the Kantar Group? How does this all fit into this? What do you guys do? Why don't you start there?
Yes. Okay, right, good question. So Kantar Group is really a holding company name for lots of individual brands of market research companies. From TNS, Milbrown, the Futures Company, and then some specialist units like Kantar Media, Kantar Retail, and so on. So while each of those businesses will have their own priorities and their own plans for products, offers, solutions, and they'll have their own development teams, we centrally within Kantar wanted to make sure that we had an expert team that understood these technologies and had in place core capabilities that would enable us to then build and leverage new offers and solutions. So Kantar Mobile was formulated earlier in 2012 and sits within a central function, which is Kantar Operations, which has built out mobile capabilities for both survey-based work and also for passive data collection. And then we leverage all of these capabilities to help TNS, Milbrown, Kantar Media, Kantar Retail, and Added Value, and so on, to leverage their offers and their solutions for their clients.
So, I mean, where was, is survey, it's an interesting question. I'm not really sure that I'm going to ask it properly, but is surveying sexy? You know what I mean? I'm a data geek, guys. So you had me at hello, right? You take all this data and it's what you do with that data. But most of us have this vision of somebody with a clipboard, the old school clipboard and standing there. Hey, do you have a few minutes to answer a few questions? And how has this industry progressed as a result of these devices that we're carrying with us? It must be like Christmas.
Yes, absolutely. So I was at the Mobile Marketing Association in Istanbul yesterday, presenting on that and trying to give some indication for what's going to happen over the next couple of years. So this is how I described it. market research stemmed from a conceptual idea in the 1920s, which was around the advertising boom and the golden age of radio in the USA. When they realized that there was significance around demographics from sponsoring radio spots. For 80 years following that, we had a market research model that was questions and answers. And then it changed in the late 90s, early 2000s, when internet research came along. And suddenly we had a new model. So internet research took off because there were cost savings, there were quality improvements, because there was no interviewer bias. So there were other reasons why it took off. However, the importance is the model changed. No longer was it questions and answers. Now you could behaviourally track what somebody was doing, and it was no longer self-reported research. That, at the time, had controversial elements to it. There were those traditional researchers that didn't like that. There were people that called that data mining and said that's not market research. Now we've got ourselves into the cusp of the mobile phenomenon, and we're repeating it all over again. And now we are trying to collect data from all these different types of devices, and it's not just mobile phones. It's going to be from smart TVs. It's going to be from our refrigerators. It's going to be from our cars, and so on. And that is a big challenge for us, and it's also comes with a lot of responsibilities. And I probably used the wrong way of summarizing that yesterday in Istanbul, because I used a Greek titan, Prometheus. Now, bearing in mind the Greeks and the Turks don't get on very well, it was probably the wrong place to quote him. But Prometheus said that the challenge was how we're going to manage this new fire, and that's what I am referring to all of this data about is a new fire. And the challenge for us is data obesity. We're going to have so much data, we don't know what to do with it. So we need to determine that, and then the responsibility is how do we make sure that we are acting responsibly and ethically with that data. So researchers of tomorrow, or you could argue researchers of today, have to have different skill sets than traditional researchers. We now need researchers that understand digital ethics, that understand privacy, and it's not just about understanding how to design a good survey and having questionnaire and analytics and data processing skills.